Alright. We're gonna do a let's play of MSQ.
Hydaelyn. A vibrant planet blessed by the light of the crystal. Amid azure seas, encompassing the westernmost of the three great continents, there lies a realm embraced by gods and forged by heroes. Her name, Eorzea. The annals of Eorzean history chart the rise of a succession of great civilizations, each one enjoying an age of peace, the Astral Eras. To date, all have proven ephemeral. In the year 1572 of the sixth and most recent Astral Era, the Northern Empire of Garlemald amassed a great army at the heart of Eorzea, seeking dominion over all. Rising in desperate resistance, the forces of the Eorzean Alliance met their would-be conquerors in the field. Yet, even as the battle raged, the lesser moon, Dalamud, was plucked from the heavens through imperial machination. From its core emerged the elder primal Bahamut, who unleashed his fury upon the realm. The devastation brought Eorzea to its knees and the era to its end. 5 years have come and gone. The light of life still shines upon Eorzea. Man labors tirelessly to raise himself from the calamity's ruin. The realm is forever changed, a stranger to him once more. Yet heedless of what lies ahead, he shall press on. Spurred by the promise of peace and prosperity. Amid this period of great change, an adventurer arrives in Eorzea, one whose tale is yet unwritten. May he ever walk in the light of the crystal.
Wow, I haven't watched that cinematic in a long time. There was a little bit of overlap between those two cinematics, but the main premise is a lot of that stuff happened in the past compared to where we are going to start. Yeah, I've already picked out my character. We gotta pick a birth date. So awkward. I don't know why 7 and 8 are considered both 4-7. We have to pick a god. This doesn't matter anymore. Back in the day, it used to. When this was brand new, this actually did elemental buffs and elemental weaknesses to your character. Now it's for roleplay, I guess. We're going to start as a marauder, which means we are going to start in Limsa Lumensa. I wish I could start in Lamia, but it doesn't look like I can. So I guess we'll start in Exodus. It shouldn't matter too much. Exodus. We gotta pick a name. Alright, here we go. Unfortunately for these first couple, well, at least for the first main game, there's not a lot of voice acting, so I will have to either read a lot of it or I'll have to wait to see if y'all want me to keep reading it or not, but there is some voice acting, which is always nice.
Here. Here. Feel. Hear, feel, think.
Oi, y'all right, lad? You were moaning in your sleep and sweating buckets besides. Rolling of the ship got your stomach churning, has it? Don't seem like seasickness now that I look at you. It'll be the aether then, I reckon. Some are more sensitive to the stuff than others see, and we ain't too far from Vilbrand now, which is chock full of aetherites. No need to fret though, you'll soon get used to it. Might as well have been bloomin' seasicknesses. Sickness. Ship's leaping around like a demented chocobo today. I reckon I might head out on deck, get myself a breath of fresh air. Limbs of Lamentus still a far way off, in case you were wondering. Seeing as you're awake and all, how about you keep me company till we get there? Them young'uns don't much care for conversation. Any road. Any road. Brennan's the name and peddlin's me trade. Alright. Ah, smell that salty sea breeze. Now then, lad, judging by your unusual garments, I'd say you were the one of them new adventurers. Am I warm? I knew it, going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean, ain't no secret that adventure is a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to it? Glory, of course. Glory, eh? Well, if you're willing to take on them tasks as other folk ain't, an adventurer such as yourself can win fame what coin can't buy. When you arrive in town, you'll want to report to the Adventurers Guild. You can find out everything you need to know about the adventure and business in there. Just remember, though, there's more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. Yup, that is a fact. Ain't no profit in being dead. Ship's off the starboard bow. Pirate colors. Yep, we're getting attacked by pirates. Pirates, bloody hells. Have ye no sense? Get below. Don't gotta tell me twice. What is the world coming to? Pirates firing on a ship flying Lemenson colors. Bastards either have a boatload of balls or bugger all for brains. You can rest easy, friends. We've made it out of cannon range, and no buccaneer's bark will catch this flighty temptress once the wind's in her sails. That was too bleeding close. Glad one of us kept his head on his shoulders. I reckon I'd lost mine otherwise. If them pirates gave up the chase, we must be close to port. Let's head up on deck and have us a look, shall we? Yeah, let's get a look at the city. By the by, is this your first trip to Laminsa? No. Technically, this is probably like my 4th trip, but we'll say yes. It is. Well, then let's Let this journeyed itinerant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. Limsa Laminsa prides itself on being Eorzea's foremost naval power. Weren't too long ago that the place was ruled by pirates, but thanks to the current admiral's civilizing influence, the city-state could almost pass for a respectable nation. You'd never guess she was once a rum-swilling buccaneer herself. Of course, most folk ain't so quick to change, and with a town full of liberty-loving ruffians, you can imagine how many naysayers and troublemakers she's got to deal with, like them pirates who took a fancy to us just now. And if that weren't bad enough, I've heard the Sahegan are raiding the coast just as bold as you please. Them they're sea-dwelling beastmen the locals call fishbacks, in case you didn't know. Yeah, the beast tribe. Ah, at long last, land ho. Behold, Limsa Laminsa, a nation blessed by the ocean's bounty and beloved of Limlayan, goddess of navigation. I couldn't remember how to say that god's name.
On a windswept isle in the southwestern corner of the realm, amidst the roiling waves of the Lotano Sea, lies the maritime city-state of Limsa Lominsa. To this haven for bandits and brigands, cutthroats and curs, seekers of both freedom and fortune, comes a lone adventurer. Lone yet not alone, for the hero's arrival has drawn the gaze of the nation's patron deity, Limlayan. What realm-shaking fate has she descried in the churning waters of this mortal's future?
And here's where we part ways, son. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares, and it's on to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this by way of thanks for saving my ass earlier. Hey, you never did tell me your name, did you? Well, here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square. Oh, you don't have to worry about that.
Through peril and hardship, discovery and triumph, may the navigator guide this brave soul on his life's voyage, till sea swallows all.
We got a little bit more, and then we got a bunch of tutorials we gotta go through. Don't worry, we're gonna skip most of it. Hey, you there. I mean you. This is my district, and I make it my business to know all the scum that washes up in it. Ah, an adventurer fresh off the boat, is it? Well then. Allow one of Limsa Lamensa's finest to set you on the right path. Hop to it, lad. I haven't got all day. Don't need that. Don't need that. Alright, actually we're going to change a few settings, not in there, in here. Show lineage, none. Filters should be fine. Target should be fine. Should be fine. Mouse doesn't matter. I'm not using a mouse. Fine UI settings. We don't need that. We don't need that. Definitely don't need that. That's fine. Let's see. Change this to 7 left. 7 left. Oh no, no, no. I'll screw up. This one is 7 left. This is 8 left. 8 right. PvP, we won't be doing any PvP in this. I know I'm missing something. Is it under display? Sharing? No. Cross? Where is it? I know I'm missing something. Where is it? It doesn't matter right this second. I can find it later. I do need to turn off of this. We should be good for now. Now then, I'm sure you're itching to explore, but adventurers are required to register their presence in the city, and without a bit of local knowledge, you're like to get your throat slit in some piss-stinking alley. Alright, so before you do anything, get yourself over to the Drowning Wench and enroll with the Adventurers Guild. It's not far, just head straight down this street and speak with Gruffar. He'll show you how to work that big moving platform we call the Crow's Lift, and that'll take you up to the pub. Once you're there, look for a fellow by the name of Baderon. He's the proprietor of the Wench. He might curse like an ale-sodden sailor, but the man's got a soft spot for wide-eyed newcomers like yourself. He'll set you straight. Got all that? Good. Now run along and may the navigator guide you on your journey. Yeah, we begun a quest. Got it. Welcome to Limsa. If you have in mind to visit the Drowning Witch, the Crow's Lift will take you there. Greetings to ye, lad. What'll it be? But you ain't here for the drink, are ye? You come with a mind to try your adventuring, I reckon. Well, you'll find no shortage of work here in Limsa. The name's Baderon, and this most hospitable of hostilities is the Drowning Wench. 'Tis also the home of the Adventurers Guild here in Limsa. That's why we've got a desk specially for handling guild business, and why I seem to spend more time saving the necks of whelps like yourself than wetting the throats of me regulars. Alright, adventurers have a knack for finding trouble, see? Not that they need it in these parts, on account of there being trouble wherever you look. If you manage to steer clear of the fishbacks and the kobolds outside the city, the pirates on the inside will get you instead. Cool. And if they don't manage, there's always the Garlean Empire to finish the job. Oh yeah, we'll get into the Garlean Empire. Oh, no one knows what they're planning, of course, but if they're planning anything, you can be sure it's to kill the lot of us. Yep. Aye, this town seems peaceful at a glance, but look again and you'll see a people living in fear of what tomorrow might bring. And who can blame them after everything that's happened? Eorzea took a mighty blow during the calamity, but our homes weren't the only things that got wiped off the face of existence by that thrice-damned bastard of a dragon. Yeah, like I said, both of those cutscenes were technically in the past of where we are now. Those cutscenes are, they call it the calamity. It took our bleeding memories too, and no one's been able to explain it in a way as makes any ounce of sense. None of the folks what saw it and lived to tell the tale seem to agree on how the tale actually goes. 'Tis all foggy, like recollections from a hard night on the ale. You can imagine why people might fear for the future if they can't rightly recall the past. But there is one thing we all remember, and that's the group of adventurers what laid down their lives to drag Eorzea back from the brink when she was bound for the abyss. Well, I say we remember. Truth is, though, we ain't forgotten what they did for us. This goddamn calamity spawned a memory loss, robbed us of their names. It won't even let us picture their damn faces. 'Tis like staring at a gull flying in front of the sun. All you see in your mind's eye is a shadow set against a blinding glare. And that's how every bugger describes it, by the way, give or take the odd gull. It's this what's got people calling these heroes the Warriors of Light. If Limsa's ever gonna put this time of darkness behind it, it's gonna need adventurers to help banish the fear. It's gonna need new heroes like the ones we lost. Maybe one day you'll be one of them, and that's why any aid we can give to adventurers, effort well spent. What say ye, lad? You willing to lend us your strength? I mean, if I have to. Me thanks to ye and the navigator and all. I knew she'd steer ye my way for a reason. Ah, but listen to me yattering on like a sun-touched fishwife. 'Tis high time we got your mark in the book. Put your scrawl right there. And a fine name it is. Congratulations, you're now an upstanding member of the Venturers Guild. You there, adventurer, you sailed in on the last ferry, did you not? The captain reported being attacked by a pirate vessel, and several witnesses have testified independently that a passenger matching your description went out on deck mere moments before the incident took place. Sending your friends signals, were you? Now hold on just a minute there, officer. You've got the wrong bloke. This fine, upstanding young gent is my dear departed grandma's sister's niece's cousin's closest companion. The lad wouldn't be caught dead fraternizing with such unsavory elements. Is that right? You are surely aware of the recent kidnappings. Respectfully, then, we cannot be too trusting of outsiders at a time when the loyalty of even our closest friends is in doubt. You make a good point there, officer. A very good point. Very wise. You needn't worry, though. I keep one eye open at all times, me, and two more often than not. Now, sir, what say ye to a tankard of my finest ale before you return to your duties, eh? Not a watered-down cup of piss like last time, I should hope. Damn. Ain't got the faintest idea what you're on about, officer. The winch might offer some of the cheapest grog this side of the Strait of Myrtle, but that didn't mean it won't go get you good and pickled. And look, there's a chair over there just crying out to be sat on, so kick off them heavy boots, eh? You have to excuse these eager, bloody yellow jackets. There's been a spate of kidnappings, see, and they ain't got a clue who's behind them. Naturally, they've taken to clapping irons on anyone who looks vaguely suspicious, which means venturers, visitors, and pretty much every bugger else in town. Cool. Don't take it personal, though. Us Lemenzans can be headstrong bunch of bastards, 'tis true, but given time will grow on you. Now, where was I? Hey, welcome to Limsa, where the sea's as green as the faces of me patrons after a few too many black belly whiskeys. Now take a moment to gather your wits and we'll get started with learning you the ways of the city. Alright then, let's start you off nice and easy with 3 tasks what'll help you get used to life here in Limsa. Firstly, if you head down a floor, then point your nose west, you'll get an eyeful of the great glowing crystal in the middle of the courtyard. That's an aetheryte, a device what can move you from one place to another in the blink of an eye. Ain't no swifter way to travel, providing there's an aetheryte where you want to go, of course. Have a chat with the yellow jacket on guard down there, and you'll be treated to a lecture on the workings of the device. For you to do that, though, remember to touch the thing. Strange as it sounds, it won't work till you have. Second on the list is the marketplace. You'll find weapons and armor and all your venturing bits and pieces for sale in the district what lies beyond the aetheryte. Don't go throwing your gill around just yet, though, or you'll get fleeced quicker. You can say, why's my coin purse so light? Have a word with Swazblate instead. He's the lead of the Merchants League, by the way. Give him this old octant and he'll treat you well. For the last of my helpful hints, I suggest you meet some fellow axe wielders at the Marauders Guild. I guarantee you'll learn a few new tricks for swinging that head splitter of yours if you join their crew. Blathoda at the front desk is one to get you started. Got all that, lads? Seeing to them 3 tasks. I'll take a little jaunt around the city and help you work out where everything is. Now, if best be getting on, run along, eh? Bugger it, there I go, sending you off with telling you something crucial. That bloody calamity's made a right mess of my memory, I swear. Well, that or the ale, any road. While you're out, if you happen to pass any poor sods what look like they might need help, consider giving their tale of woe a listen to. Sounds like a chore, I admit, but you never know what interesting opportunities could be lurking out there, just waiting for you to stumble on them. For example, Ninya over yonder's been casting glances at you since you waltzed in. Why not lend an ear and see what she has to say? You're likely to find yourself running odd errands in the beginning, but once you build a reputation as a man folk can trust, the jobs will get harder and the rewards more generous. If you have the time, also seek the advice of the smith and the winch. The lads as bear that title have some fine advice for them when you're just starting out in the profession. And that, my lad, is how you go about becoming a legend among venturers. I actually don't remember what that guy has to say. Yeah. To leave the drowning winch, you must accept. Yeah. I don't think that's the right button I have it on, but it'll be fine. Well, would you look at this? A shiny new adventurer. Listen close, lad. I have some information that might just help put you on the map here in Limsa. I was passing through Bulwark Hall below not long ago and saw a bunch of herbs just scattered across the ground. Now, I'm not entirely certain, but I think they might have been the black market wares known as dream flowers. Limsa is a busy port, and not all the merchants that blow in across the strait are above board, if you know what I mean. How'd the plants end up in the mizzen mast? Who knows? Might have been a deal gone bad. The important thing is you make a name for yourself by handing them in. Speak to Skennerell, and she'll get you down to the first floor. Then all you have to do is pick up the herbs and take them to... I have no idea how to say that name. At the Octant. Being a worldly captain, he knows a thing or two about such shady goods. Crow's lift is ready when you are. Yep, we're gonna take the lift. Alright, so we have to finish this, and then we have to go run around the city, which is gonna take a little bit. You have some herbs you wish me to examine? Yes. Can't see. Yes, as you suspected, these are highly illegal blooms known as dream flowers. They are the prime ingredient in the creation of somnus, a substance whose fragrance is said to lull the sniffer's mind into the sleep of death. Forgive me, I cannot resist the jest. These herbs are not more than Althic lavender, a common enough export from Limsa. In fact, these probably spilled from crates that were loaded onto my very own ship. I think someone has been having a bit of fun with you, son, but not to worry. You've learned a few things and made a new acquaintance. Well met. Alright. Can't touch the aetheryte. Another novice adventurer. Bateron has sent more than a few of your kind this way of late. I am Sundheimer, one of the Yellow Jackets tasked with keeping the peace in the city. It is also my charge to provide guidance in the use of this device. Fear not, I shall be brief. Aetherites are crystalline structures that tap into ethereal energies. They are primarily used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Return and teleport, the most common transportation spells, make direct use of aetherites in their connection to the flow of aether. And as these devices are found in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer worthy of the name will wish to seek out and attune himself to each one. Once you have expanded your horizons beyond the walls of the city, you will soon find yourself performing the act of attunement as a matter of course. There is, however, no need for unseemly haste. The aetherites found in and around the city will be sufficient for the present, I assure you. Should you wish to learn more about aetherites or transportation magic, I will be here to answer your questions. I mean, to be honest, there's not much to it. You go up, you touch the crystal, and then you can teleport to it. Which we need to do that. Sorry, I gotta get all this stuff cleaned up. Fine day to you, sir. Welcome to the most replete marketplace in the grand realm of Eorzea, where every shelf groans under the weight of wonders born from all four corners of the world. Pray browse the stalls until your eyeballs ache from ogling the overabundance of unbelievable bargains. Now, as much as I would love to elaborate upon the unrivaled quality of our merchandise, I must tend to some cargo but recently arrived at the docks. You bear a gift from Baderon. Whatever could it... Ah, my octant. By the navigator, I must have left it behind in the winch, along with a week's pay and several bells worth of intoxicated memories. I am most grateful to have it back. This tool is a keepsake from my days as a ship captain, you see. Needless to say, your good deed must be repaid, and what better recompense than the wisdom of a master merchant? If it is a simple and sturdy adventuring equipment you seek, you need look no further than the east and west arms of Hawker's Alley. Lest you doubt, each gil you invest in arms and armor will be money well spent. Adventuring is, after all, a dangerous profession by its very nature. It goes without saying that Hawker's Alley boasts stalls specializing in the tools of every martial discipline imaginable. And within but a few steps are bazaars and apothecaries that will most amply supply all your potion and perishable needs. Our keen-eyed agents procure a frankly befuddling range of wares during their sojourns to distant shores, so it pays to become familiar with the type and price of the goods offered by each stall. Such knowledge will serve you well if your purse is light or your time is short. But verbal instruction of this kind will only profit you so much. Experience has ever been the surest teacher, if not the kindest. I invite you to explore the markets for yourself. Luckily, going through the main story, you don't really need to bother with merchants all that much. No, that sprint is not in the right spot. that aetherite, and then we can go upstairs. Alright, I think we have 3 more to get. 2 after this one. Yeah. Go this way first. And then we'll go talk to the Marauders Guild. One more to get. Unfortunately, there's 2 more cities. We won't get to them today. Most likely. I'd be very surprised if we do in this video. There's 2 more cities that we're going to have to run around and do this in. But then we won't have to do it again for a good amount of time. Alright, let's go talk to the Marauders Guild. Oh there, adventurer. Curious about the Marauders Guild, are ye? Any axe worth swinging needs 2 hands on the shaft and has a blade what can make short work of a galley's mast. That's the kind of weapon our members train to use with deceptive swiftness and all too predictable force. Are you interested in hearing more, lad? Then why don't I give you the short version of the guild's founding history and we can go from there. It all started with ships, you see. What have ships got to do with axes, you ask? Well, building them would be pretty difficult without a sturdy tool to lop down trees for timber, and since only the navigator herself knows when a ship will run afoul of a storm or worse, it makes sense for the crew's carpenter to carry an axe on board. It all started with shipbuilding and ship repair. What, am I boring you? As I was saying, any tool on a ship can become a weapon, and the axe was perfect for hooking yourself over the rail of an enemy vessel, letting loose in a whirl of steel and generally laying waste to all about ye. As more seafarers took up the axe as their weapon of choice, so did the bloody art of the marauder begin to take shape, especially among pirates where strength and skill decided your place in the world. With an eye to assembling crews of battle-ready raiders, the pirates started teaching the proper way to wield a chopping blade to their new recruits, and that's how the Marauders Guild first came to be. But once the Galadian Accord was signed to unite the Maelstrom and the pirates against Limsa's enemies, the whole game changed. The Accord itself was a dismal failure, of course, but the Marauders Guild was never the same. It was taken over, restructured, and purged of its pirates' elements. It had been reborn as an institution dedicated to naught but the teaching of axe fighting. The members of this new Marauders Guild weren't no greed-driven cutthroats neither. They were warriors what sought to use their martial prowess, oh my god, I can't speak today, for the good of society. If mastering the axe is your heart's desire, then you'll find no better arena in which to practice your swings. Think it over, then let me know if you fancy joining our ranks. I have a feeling I'll be seeing more of you soon, lad. Yes. You've decided to swing an axe with the Marauders then? Yep. Alright then, all that needs doing now is to speak with the Axe Master himself. Sounds simple. I've seen folks slink out the door rather than put themselves in the path of that unnerving glare. That's the bloke right there in the middle of the room. Zone's his name. Put some steel in your spine and look him straight in the eye when you talk to him, lad. Good fortune. He doesn't look so tough. Yes, I am Axemaster, they call me. Not the most imaginative of titles, I agree, but one should not underestimate the value of directness. I welcome your interest in our guild. The art of the Marauders is used to rend, to cleave, and to destroy. It is not our way to simply outfight our adversaries, we seek to overwhelm them. A Marauder must be the most powerful and enduring presence on the battlefield. We must account for the most enemies defeated. Our role in combat is that of a steel whirlwind, dealing death and destruction without equal. No doubt the question has already been put to you by Blathada, but once more shall I challenge your commitment. Are you prepared for the bloody carnage that awaits an initiate of the Marauders Guild? Yep, we are prepared for the carnage. Very well, your name. Attend me well, then, Hulk. Hold fast to this moment of dedication. The path of the Marauder is a jagged and perilous one. The blood that spills at your feet will ofttimes be your own. You stand now as a student of the axe. Let us waste no time in testing this edge of your chosen weapon. You shall wade straightway into combat as befits a novice of our discipline. Go forth and slay the bleeding, scurrying, crawling pests that plague the outskirts of Limsa. Lost lambs, wharf rats, and little ladybugs shall be your piteous adversaries this day. Return to me once 3 of each creature have fallen to your blade. Alright. Oh. It's easier to use the teleport to get outside the city gates. Yeah, I know how to battle. Service. I gotta get that stuff out of there. Otherwise, we're gonna hear an annoying ding every time I do something. Ah, there you are. Enjoy your jaunt around the city, did you? If you mean to base yourself in Limsa, that won't be the last time you'll visit them 3 places, and now you've got some idea what's where, you can start exploring the rest of the town. You've shown a good ear for listening, lad. Stick with old Balderon and you'll go far. Still in Limsa, are you? Oh, you'd fancy a trip outside the city walls? I'd like you to visit an orchard by the name of Summerford Farms. Ever heard of the place? The owner, Stalwarn, is an old mate of mine. He's got himself a crew, mostly reformed pirate types, if you can believe that, and has been trying to bring a bit of life back to the fields after the calamity ruined the soil. Mentioned needing another hand or two, and your name sprang to mind. I gave you a glowing recommendation, so make sure you work hard and impress the old bastard. You need directions? The place ain't hard to find. Just take the Zephyr Gate out of the city and follow the road northeast. Okay, we will go that direction. First, I gotta go. There's one. Right here. All right. Alright, now we need to head back to the Marauders Guild. You are returned to me a different man. Already your face shows a harder cast, a realization of the slaughter of which you are capable. There is much training to be done before you will wield the axe to its fullest potential. Learn well your lessons, build your strength, and make of each swing an instinctive act. You shall have this hunting log to aid you in that endeavor. Its pages are marked with opponents suitable for honing your skills. There are, of course, myriad methods by which you might improve your techniques, but when the way forward is not readily apparent, the log provides a reliable source of challenges and XP. Every blow of your weapon will clear another step forward towards the mastery of the Marauder way. Implacable? Placable? Relentless. Such must be your momentum on both the practice grounds and the battlefield. Alright, can't get the next quest till we're level 5. Which is no big deal. We will hit that soon enough. We don't need that on. Alright, so we gotta kill a few more of these. So now we have the hunting log. Oh. What's that? Level 7? Yeah, can't do it yet. And just like that, level 6. So now we can actually teleport. You must be the adventurer Baderon promised to send along. You honored his word, so that's a good start. I'm Stalwern, the old bastard as Baderon likely described me, and this here is my humble orchard. A good number of the lads and lasses working here once terrorized the high seas, and if you're wondering why I employ these scrags, well, they used to crew my pirate ship. But the calamity did for our ship like it did so many others, and I was sore wounded into the bargain. I had to feed myself and my crew somehow, and Admiral Merlewibb's initiative to get us landlocked buccaneers working the fields seemed too fine an offer to refuse. Well, it turns out you can take the pirate away from the sea, but you can't take the sea away from the pirate. A lot of my blokes just never took to tending the soil, you see. And unfortunately, the botanists I called in to train them have been wringing their hands in black despair. With so much work piling up, I need a tougher soul like you to step in and help where it's needed. Alright, we're definitely going to take the boots. Yeah, the boots. I don't really need money right now. I have a mind to set you a task, but before I do, I need to be sure you're properly kitted out. Pirates don't care to parley with dandies, you understand? It might well be that the ones here have traded in their cutlasses for coulters, but they're still rogues at heart. I know a solid set of gear when I see it. Come back when you think you're more suitably equipped. Alright, so we gotta hit item level 5, which I just don't have a helmet. Which means we can just go do the next Marauder quest to get that helmet. Yeah. So, well, technically it would be an eye patch and not a helmet, but whatever. It's item level 5, and that's what we need, so... You approach me with a marauder stride, determined, unswerving, and bereft of the hesitation that marked our first meeting. I am pleased. The time has come for you to begin a new stage in your training. Now, what sets the axe aside from the gladius or the dagger? It is the raw, unstoppable destruction wrought by its thick, heavy blade, and that overwhelming power can only be properly directed by extraordinary physical strength. Thus we come to the core of this day's lesson. Such strength as a marauder must possess is developed through a traditional method passed down through the generations of the guild, a method that you too shall be taught to employ. Present yourself to Brombar in the practice area downstairs, and he shall instruct you further. Okay. Guess we'll go talk to that guy. The Axemaster told me you'd be on your way. Good it is to meet a new marauder. Now we axe wielders build strength and control by splitting boulders. That's right, our traditional method involves smashing a rock with your axe. But you can't use just any old swing. You need to hit the rock just so. Rotegim, a fellow marauder, is waiting just outside the Zephyr Gate by the bridge over the Rogue River. She'll tell you how it's done. Alright, we're gonna go hit rocks, apparently. Greetings, lad. Ready to split some stone, are you? I've 3 nice hard rocks for you to build up a sweat on. Don't try nothing fancy now. Just hit them with a good, solid, heavy swing. That's the way to do it. Now you've got the idea. Why don't you have at him a little harder with that heavy swing of yours? Hold nothing back. Aye, I can see you're a natural. My head's still ringing with the sound of cracking boulders. Take yourself back to the Axe Master and let him know you're ready for something harder. Well, that was easy enough. As the training loosened your muscles and focused your mind, an urgent request for help has arrived from the Red Rooster's stead, and I have chosen you to respond. It appears a hostile group of megalocrabs has unwittingly elected itself the next test of your prowess. As this is your first outing on official marauder duty, you shall be accompanied by the veteran conjurer by the name of Sulkwib. She awaits you on the floor below. May devastation follow in your wake. Really? I thought the crabs came later. Apparently not. Aye, Hulk, I know who you are. My brother often has me escort his fledgling marauders on their more dangerous tasks. I suppose Warzen expects me to give you the details then. Very well. It seems the farmers need us to clear out a megalocrab nest near the Morning Widow in Lower Lenosha. I shall trust you to find your way there. Just don't forget your axe. You sound like you don't like me. Oh man, I miss my mounts. I'm so used to flying and riding mounts. More guys for printing long. Easy level up. Looks as if nobody's home. Mayhap they knew we were coming. Aid, I need aid. Please, it's my grandson. Them snippers got him, and I told Sigard not to get too close. I told him. Get that weapon ready, Hulk. We need to move now. Oop. Accidentally cancel it. Yep. Here we go. Ah, bugger. Get away from me, bloody great bastard. big one is level 15, and we are only level 7. So we can hit it, but we will not do that much damage. The NPC helping us is going to do most of it. We just need to take care of the small ones. Oh, I'm missing that. What's going on? Yeah, it's so high level that I'm missing that. Easy win, easy win. Thank you, mister. I thought I was dead for sure. Can't even play outside no more with all those scary monsters about. Me ma and me da. They was both killed by some nasty bugger not so long ago. An aurochs big as a mountain. But I bet you could beat it. I make it pay for what it did to me folks. Take it easy now, son. There's a whole guild full of strapping lads and lasses like Hulk here who'll be glad to do just that. All you need to do is head home with your grandpa. You let us worry about that big nasty bugger. He's talking about an auroch. They're like big buffaloes. Consider your first duty a success, Hulk. It's time you headed back as well before war zone begins to worry I've left your corpse for the crabs. God, these names, man. These names are killer. Is this fate? Can I do this fate? Yeah, I can. Cool. Extra XP. Fix that. turn this quest in, and then we should be able to continue the main story. So you've shattered the shells of the megalocrabs to save the life of a child into the bargain. Thus does our violent craft prove its merit. Well done. Though no longer a threat to the farmers, you should know that it is unusual for such crabs to be found so near the stead. By all accounts, the creatures were ousted from their usual feeding grounds by a more fierce beast. The beast of which I speak is a known terror in the lands of Lenosha, ever seeking to expand its territory, and that boy's parents were but two of the many victims to fall to its rampages. It is a threat that must be dealt with ere long. Do thoughts of vengeance flit through your mind? Nurture those urges, but do not yet act upon them. This monstrosity is far beyond your present skills. If you would answer the lad's cry for revenge, then you must grow stronger. Become the raging behemoth this challenge demands. Alright, we need the helmet. Got a roll action. Oh, Rampart. Okay, perfect. Oh, man, I gotta fix this. Okay. Man, where is that option? Oh, it's right there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, perfect. No, we want to apply that. Apply close, okay. Yeah, level 10. Okay, we'll come back when we're level 10. Alright, we're gonna teleport over to Summerford. Actually, we're not gonna teleport because that costs money. We're actually gonna just run over there. Because we only have 200 guild or a name. And it costs about 100 something to teleport over there. Let's have a look at you, shall we? As long as you're this well covered, I won't feel any guilt throwing you to the sharks. Erstwhile buccaneers are an ornery lot. They rage in love for the sea and care little for the laws of the land. But they respect strength, and by the looks of you, I'd say you'll have little trouble getting their attention. We just got this axe. We don't need... We won't be playing either of those. I guess we'll take the money. That aura of confidence tells me you've not been idle since last we met. I hope I've read you all right, for I've a task that requires the attention of a capable adventurer. Might that adventurer be you? I guess so. Good to hear. Then I shall lay before you the sorry tale. You will have heard rumors of the abductions. Aye, citizens have been disappearing from every corner of Limsa, as if plucked from the face of Hydaelyn, boots and all, by an unseen hand. And what's this got to do with Summerford Farms, you might ask? Well, that remains to be seen, but it seems a collection of right unsavory fellows with azure tattooed faces has been creeping up to the edges of the fields and spying on me, Yeoman. Now, I doubt anyone would enjoy being scrutinized by such savages at the best of times, but the farmhands are convinced that they're the kidnappers of rumor come for their hides. Needless to say, they're beside themselves with worry and their work suffering for it, which is the very last thing I need when my old crewmen are still getting used to their new jobs. 'Tis a struggle to get them to leave the farmhouse of a morning. That is, as they say, where you come in. Would you be willing to investigate these tattooed thugs for me? Good lad. The sooner we get to the bottom of this, the sooner this place will start to resemble a working farm again. I suggest you begin by having a look around Sisong Grotto. If reports are to be believed, our unwelcome visitors have occupied the place. Be careful though, Ridge. I couldn't say for sure what manner of miscreants we're dealing with here. If they are the kidnappers, we'll just be on your guard, alright? Yeah, the entrance is right there.
I am the waves that bear. I am the winds that guide. I am the evening stars. I am the morning sky. I am born of the sea, and there shall I die. Thus reads the sailor's requiem, carved into yonder stone. Such words well describe the manner in which the citizens of Lominsa live their lives. It is both a litany against misfortune for those out on the waves, and a prayer that the souls of those who perish on land might find their way back to the sea. Ah, you are the adventurer I've seen around Summerford Farms. I thought myself on the trail of the kidnappers, but it would seem I have missed my mark. Or perhaps not. As I suspected, The etheric disturbance here is no natural occurrence. Nor is it a coincidence that the two of us should come here in search of those responsible for the disappearances, only to be attacked. But who stands to benefit from the keeping of this secret? Oh, such thoughts must wait. Let us attend to the task at hand, unpleasant though it be. Phew! Hear, feel, think. Crystal Bearer. I am Heidelin, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them.
reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart. Go now, my child, and shine thy light on all creation.
Awake again, are we? Aha! The poor creature's fury was kindled with cruel forethought. See this blade? I found it in the Gubu's back. I have seen knives of this kind before. They are most commonly used for the cutting of rope. It would appear our culprits are seafaring men of some persuasion, piratical being the most probable. In any event, you seem much recovered from your sudden affliction. I confess, I was rather taken aback when you collapsed at the very moment of our victory. Mayhap a surfeit of ether? I beg your pardon. A towering crystal. I'm sure I don't... Oh! Well, well. This has been a day of unexpected revelations. I must continue my investigation. In the meantime, I suggest you deliver this knife to your patron, along with a warning concerning the pirate's probable involvement in this murky business. The days ahead promise little rest, I fear. May our paths cross again, under the light of the crystal.
Alright, so we met one of the major players. One of the main allies of the game. We don't know her name yet. Actually, if I remember right, I think it's told to us right after this quest. Right glad I am to see you safely returned. My lads were all gabbing about hearing what sounded like all seven hells breaking loose near the grotto, and I'd fear I'd sent you to your death. If you were in the middle of that commotion, I hope it yielded something of interest. I'd hate to think you'd risk your life for naught. A blade pulled from the back of a creature you slew at the cave. I'd agree that such a knife would be part of any seafaring man's kit. I'm starting to think that these ruffians are pirates, come to lure my farmhands back to a life of plunder. Chances are they didn't take kindly to your appearance on their doorstep and set a maddened Gubu on you. Aye, the pirates have been adding to their numbers of late. I'd best warn the lads and lasses in my employ to be on guard against their schemes. You met someone else at the grotto. A woman with a strange contraption. Ah, Yustola. Yep, that's her name, Yustola. She's been in Limsa for a good while now. Her studies of the ether have often bring her out to Summerford, so her presence at the grotto is hardly unusual. She's an odd-looking lass, I grant you, but she's not the kind to associate with kidnappers. You may take my word for that. Where trust should be lacking is in those yeomen of mine who have yet to wholly relinquish their pirate past. The temptation to return to the free and easy life of a buccaneer may prove too strong to resist. You have my thanks. If it weren't for the efforts of stalwart adventurers like yourself, this farm would be in a far worse state than it is. Just you keep on lending your talents to those in need. Help bring Limsa the brighter future she deserves. That Ceaslaw Severin and his lot, never around when there's work to be done. I'd sooner hire you for the sake of getting things done, but then the rapscallions would never learn. Round them up and let them know that someone would like a word, and don't take no for an answer. Work? Can't work when my hands are full lifting this mug. I'd wager me last gill you'd never guess what I'm drinking. Well, you're right about the swill part. I reckon it might be worth a day of doing stalwart chores if it'll afford me a taste of proper grog. Man, we gotta find 5 of these people? Oh man, they're all over too. How am I supposed to work on an empty stomach? Go on, have a guess what I had for breakfast. Gods, how'd you know? It's my breath, ain't it? It probably smells as wooden as the food tasted. But I know why you're here. I'd just as soon get some real food in me, but I ain't one to reject a summons from the captain. Alright. Axes were made for splitting skulls, not stumps. You know what I did in my sailing days? You bet your beard I did, lad. Aye, those were the days. I reckon now I'll have to be satisfied taking my axe to the trees. So Stalwern sent you, and what do you reckon I say to that? Damn right, didn't get where I am by taking guff from any glorified gardeners, but I suppose I could see what he wants to get him off my back. Man, none of these guys want to work. Alright, one more. I'm Severin. You the old man's errand boy now? Tell my dear old captain not to wet his britches, I'll be along. Oh, and just so we're clear, I don't care for landlubbers. Go find the chocobo you rode in on and ride on out. Alright, he definitely doesn't like me. continue to impress, lad. All but Severn are accounted for. It's no fault of yours, he squirmed out. I've let that worm wriggle through my fingers more times than I can count. Rest assured, the next time I see him, I'll put him squarely in the dirt where all such worms belong. Yeah, we'll definitely take that chest piece. Pains me to say, but all the gil in the world can't buy loyalty. There are some like you who can be trusted, but then there are others. Till now, I've had no choice but to rely on that charlatan Severin, even though I am full aware he's been doing shady deals behind my back. More than once I've heard tell of improper trading with goblins. I wouldn't be the least surprised if that were happening right now. Not a bell ago, a sack of oranges vanished, as did Severin. I want you to find and confront the bastard for me. I'm sure there's wrongdoing afoot, so be sure to doubt anything that comes out of his mouth. Oh man, we gotta go all the way down there. Can you go over there and get that for the hunting log? Bloody hells, I'm up this straight without a paddle. What's this now? Stalwart sent you for the oranges? Huh, so the old bugger had known all this time. What does it matter anyway? Listen, you're one of those goody-goody adventurer types, right? Go rescue your mates from those double-dealing goblins. They're just over yonder by the bonfire. Severin sent you. The way he flew out of here, I was sure he'd sold us down the river. I owe you one. Would have gotten away myself if not for Severin shoving me aside. If you hadn't come, my dodo would have been cooked. Cooked dodo. You saved me, mates, and for that I owe you. Suppose I should be ashamed I couldn't clean up my own mess. But a pirate knows no shame. I've no qualms about going back on my word. I'm only giving you this sack because I like the cut of your jib. Take it to Osine and send him my regards. What have we here? A delivery from Summerford Farms and as scheduled. Huh, there's a first time for everything. Well, look at that. Not a single one missing either. About the only things not here are those bagmen, and I don't miss them one bit. Here's Stalwarden's payment in full. With you, I can trust it'll reach him. Alright, yeah, we gotta go turn this in. First, we're gonna... Pretty sure these wounded Aurochs are right off to the side there. So I'm gonna go check that real quick. Because if we kill them, we should level up. Higher level. Most of the time it doesn't matter, we just run through these and get ignored. Should be the last one. We have the next Marauder quest to do too. Yeah, this is where the wounded Aurochs are. Alright, now we can go turn this quest in. Back in one piece. That's a relief. How did you fare? This is what I was aiming for. Looks to be all I was owed, alright. Though I'd be telling you false if I claimed I had not held out more hope for Severin. I was even willing to overlook the skimming off the top, but to sell us all short in favor of those godforsaken goblins, you'd do well to mind yourself around that two-gill cheat. If he'd leave his own mates for dead, there's no telling what he'd do to you. Yeah, we're gonna take that. Blast, at this rate the crops will never be ready for harvest. If only we had black loam, just a bit could send our stocks soaring. I'll bet Rotwida knows where you might find some. Perhaps you might pay her a visit in the orchard. Gurkant's got a head of cabbage if he thinks I'm fetching him any black loam. But if you dare to pinch some from the cook pot, then be my guest. Just mind you don't get trampled upon by the aurochs that dwell there. Once you've 3 bushels worth, take the black loam to Freewall at Tiller's Rest. He'll know what to do. Oh crap, I should have just waited. We were going here anyways. Wow, lucky. They all turned around. And there's one of the elite monsters of the area. That guy will attack me on sight if I get too close. He'll mess me up. Alright, even the weeds wither and die in this desolate dirt. But a bit of this black loam ought to change all that. I haven't seen any in ages. Gathering black loam's not for the weak of will, nor the weak of stomach. Oh, don't tell me Gurkant and Ratana neglected to mention where black loam comes from. Well, surely you figure it out on your own from the cloying stench. It comes from the aurochs' lair of all places. Well, why dwell on who misled whom about what? What matters is that your efforts have brought us the black loam, and we can expect a bountiful harvest as a result. Confounded pirates. They know nothing of tillin', only killin', stealing our shovels to melt and forge into axes of all things. They're biting the hand that feeds them, the mangy mongrels. I'd love to teach those curs a lesson in obedience myself, if I hadn't sworn to Stalwern that I wouldn't fight no more. So I need you to bring back our farm tools and make sure those dogs reap what they've sown. Alright. Man, I do not remember a lot of this. Stunned me. I wonder what those sea dogs will try and steal when there's no harvest. Good to see the tools back in serviceable condition, which will be more than we can say of Severn when we get our hands on him. The wretch likely had a role in the theft. Spied him meeting the pirates in secret, I did. I couldn't care less if the wastrel won't work, but when he consorts with cut purses that take our tools away, he's crossed the line. Stalwern ought to know what sort of scalawag he's been dealing with. Take word to him, would you? Pirates making off with our tools. Frifwall did well not to take matters into his own hands. Last thing I need is blood on my crops. But I'll be damned if Severn thinks he can take us for fools. His treachery won't go unpunished. I've come to expect a great deal from you, lad, and you've never once let me down. Yet what I'd ask of you now goes beyond aught I've asked before. Would you hear my plea all the same? It eases my mind to have your ear. You're no doubt familiar with that scoundrel Severn by now. Well, the scheming scapegrace is at it again. Since that letter came from him, he's been skulking about in that manner he does when he's up to no good. Now he's rounded up his rogues and buggered off with a nary a word to anyone. I've grown accustomed to his insolence, but something tells me this is different. It ain't exactly damning. But when last I had words with him, he didn't look defiant so much as hunted. I can't help thinking he's gone looking for trouble and found more than he wanted. So I was hoping you might hunt his sorry hide down and drag it back here before it's too late. The ungrateful little cur bites me every chance he gets, but I can't quite bring myself to cut him loose. I suppose he reminds me a bit of my younger self. Suffice it to say, I'd rather he didn't come to a sticky end. As for how to find him, I'd try asking Grinwida at the Aetheryte. She was the last one to see him. I dare say she'll be able to tell you where he was headed. Nothing that passes through those gates escapes my notice. I saw the Rouser and his rabble set out for Woad Whisper Canyon not long ago, singing about drinking themselves stupider. Cheeky sod said I should join them. I told them I'd rather shrivel up than sip whatever it was that had pickled their brains. If you find the idle swine, be sure and give them a cuff round the ear for me, will you? Alright, we're gonna go to Whisper Canyon. Of all the dirty, deceitful, downright dastardly deeds that slippery bastard's done. Claiming to take the lads out for a drink only to lead us straight into a bloody trap. It don't get no lower than that. Of course, I've learned to stay a step ahead of old Severn, so I was ready, but the others weren't so lucky. You've got to help them. Oh, what did he do? My axe may as well have been a white flag for all the good it did. Hope you fare better, or the sorry bastards in there are done for. Okay. Severn might have got us into this mess, but I am about to let him give his life for us. I'd sooner bow to a fishback than be in that conniving bastard's debt to arms. A true knave, you betray even yourself, Severn. We were prepared to overlook the matter of your desertion on the condition that you provided us with suitable replacements. That was the agreement. Yet your latest change of heart leaves your debt to us unpaid. Few are they who betray the Serpent Reavers twice. You will not do so a third time. Cowering behind your protector will only delay the inevitable. Honorless wretch, your life is all you have left. And worthless though it be, we shall take it. O mournful voice of creation, grant ye this humble stone a soul, that it may wake to life. that the golem could be vanquished. That man is no ordinary adventurer. We're being watched. Somebody is watching us. The snake slithered away. I am only glad he did not have the chance to sink his fangs more deeply into you. Those pirates do not belong to any of the known Minson factions. Whom then do they serve? The Beast Tribes? Surely not. But the timing of their appearance coincides all too neatly with the recent surge in Sahuagin and Kobold activity. Something is afoot. The question is what? Could it be that the tribes are planning to summon their primals? 12 help us if it should prove so. Limsa would be hard-pressed to keep a single primal at bay, let alone two, but all is yet speculation. I must needs find evidence. The sea continues to rise, while the lesser moon continues to fall. And ilm by ilm, the world becomes ever more unlike itself. It is as Louis Soir foretold. The coming of chaos has rendered the laws of nature mutable, blurring the boundary between the material and ethereal planes. Little now stands between us and the primals. But they are not here yet. Though time be against us, hope shall ever be on our side. Never did the creed of Charlian ring more true. Never did I dream that I would possess the means to see ether. Yet now that I do begin to take it for granted. How swiftly do the wonders of Charlian seem commonplace. Here, for you, have you come for the festivities? Today the Maelstrom officially makes that great hole in the sea its training ground. Join in the celebrations. Wait, a disturbance in the etheric flow, but whence does it emanate? Seasong Grotto, perhaps? What have we here? Can you walk? Tis I, regrettably no, he eluded me. Understood. I will inform the Commodore. You collapsed from your exertions. Are you suitably recovered? Severin here has apprised me of all that transpired. His account sheds some light upon how you came to be attacked by a golem of all things. A golem is a mindless automaton, inert save when commanded to be otherwise. Common pirates could not hope to control such a thing, so arcane are its workings. But then these tattooed wretches are no common pirates, they are the minions of the Sahuagin. As to their purpose, well, I shall get to the bottom of it. But first I must escort Severin back to his place of employment. I dare say Stalwern will be wondering what has become of him. And you too, for that matter. I will bear word to him of your preservation, but I am certain he would like to thank you in person. Pray pay the man a visit. He told me of you, but perchance he did not tell you of me. My name is Justola. I am a naturalist of sorts, surveying the ether in the hope that it might offer up some clue as to our predicament. I'd say I owed you my life, but that don't cover it. If it weren't for you, my friends would be dead and all. 'Tis a debt I can never repay, but I'll not make things worse by running away. Take me to Summerford Farms and I'll face the consequences. For reasons I cannot fathom, you seem. Forgive me. Mayhap we shall have a chance to speak again when I have marshaled my thoughts. Until our paths next cross, farewell. Hey, y'all are just gonna leave me out here? Alright, we're gonna go pick up the next Marauder quest. Because we need to keep up with that stuff to make sure we have all of our skills and equipment up to date. Hulk, I have gathered what information I could concerning the beast that young Sigurd bade you slay. The tales name this creature Kujata. Those who have witnessed Kujata in the terrifying flesh also call him the Stampeding Mountain, such is his immense size and bulk. Again, I will not seek to dissuade you from claiming vengeance for the boy's parents. In fact, I encourage it. But to topple this lumbering colossus, you must first become his equal in strength and ferocity. As a single step towards this distant goal, I send you to Blind Iron Mines. We have had word that folk are falling prey to the claws of the local Galagos. It is your task to protect the weak from these unruly creatures. Learn to channel the rage inside you and let your axe blades sing in righteous slaughter. I don't remember what these are. Are these the little monkeys? I guess we're gonna find out. Guess we can go this way. Doesn't really matter. Oh, there's a fishing hole in here. Didn't even know that. There's got to be more to this quest. I don't remember it being this short. Whoa. Welcome back, Hulk. Your actions have saved many from needless injury and anguish. But though your efforts are to be commended, there is yet much work to be done. Kajata, the object of your vengeance, has trampled a farmer's wagon as he thundered through the lands of Tiller's Rest. The foodstuffs spilled from the overturned wain have attracted all manner of hungry predators. Without produce for the market, the farmers will surely suffer for coin this season. Your duty is this clear: put down these rapacious scavengers and preserve the cargo. Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. There's definitely more to this. Going back to Summerford. Might as well talk to Stalwart while we're there. Oh, I knew you'd return. Yashtola delivered Severn a bit ago. Tales of your heroic deeds precede you. The rest came shuffling back, too, the lot of them sporting the same haunted expression. It's me who's to blame for that and the rest. I was once a serpent reaver, a thrall to the Sahuagin seven hells. Reavers may look and sound and act like pirates, but they're not but the fishbacks flunkies. Us pirates ain't much for laws, but there's things we won't do. We've got a code, see, but the Reavers never followed a word of it. A few years back, they started snatching law-abiding Lemenzans. I'd only just taken my oath when our captain bent the knee to his new Sahuagin masters. I knew I had to get away. So I crept off one night, got myself a new name, and found myself a new home, Summerford Farms. Trouble is, secrets don't stay secret for long around here, and a word soon spread, all the way back to the sea. The penalty for desertion is death, but the Reavers offered me a way out instead, my freedom in exchange for my mates. The letter. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't bloody thinking. Too busy soiling myself. Aye, but you got there in the end, didn't you? When the time came, you made the right decision. The men say little to me, but I hear them talk of how you stood up to the Reavers at the last, of how you tried to give your life to save theirs. Be that as it may, no deed, however good, can atone for the crime of betraying your brethren. I know that, I do. That's why I'm going to hand myself over to the Yellow Jackets. I'll bring shame to the farm, no more. You'll hear no arguments from me. Each man must sail according to his own moral compass. I just hope yours guides you back here someday. There will always be a place for you at Summerford Farms, lad. And I'll always be in your debt. So he's going to turn himself into prison. I owe you a debt too. Not once have you let me down. Thank you for saving the men of my farm. If I could ask for one more favor of you, it'd be this. Tell Battaron what's happened from start to finish. I'm certain he'd put in a good word for Severn if he knew the whole story. and he's one of the few people I know who the Yellow Jackets will listen to. Well, I reckon I've asked all I can possibly ask of you. Safe travels. Great. Good, because that means we have to go back to the main city. So, we'll finish the Marauders quest and go back to the main city after that then. Are you serious? This guy's not standing on my quest, is he? No, I guess not. Close, though. I guess we're teleporting. We'll go to the Marauders Guild first. Once again, your capacity for carnage has been tested and proven. The creatures you defeated, however, were merely some of the many base scavengers that subsist on the scraps left in the wake of Kajata's rampages. To face Kajata himself, you yet require far more training, but do not despair. As Axemaster and fellow Marauder, this I swear I will not rest until I have taught you how to wring every last ounce of power from your weapon until the blade of your axe can slice cleanly through the thickest hide, the most knotted muscle, the densest bone. This menace will fall by your hand. You may find yourself drawn to explore the possibilities offered by other disciplines and guilds. These distractions are inevitable and perhaps necessary, but I urge you to soon return to the path of the Marauder. I do not wish your edge to dull just as you begin to show such potential. Fare you well, Hog. I guess we'll take the gloves. Since the gloves we have don't have any extra stats, I'll take ones that do. Armory unlocked. I didn't realize that was the unlock quest for that. Okay, anyways, let's go finish the main story quest. Bloody hells, life on the farm ain't quite how I pictured it. But you needn't worry yourself over young Severin. The Yellow Jackets and hands, Yellow Jacket as hands out the punishment is a good mate of mine. If I ask him nice, I'd reckon he'd be willing to commute the lad's sentence from hanging to keel hauling. Kindly gent that he is. I'm only jesting with you. I'll see he's treated fair. Now it sounds to me like you've done everything all Stalwart asked of ye and more, justifying me generous finder's fee in the process. Much obliged. As for reward, well, she's a lonely lad, this drowning wench of mine, and you fancy keeping her company for a spell with free room and board? Venture's a trying business after all. Them as don't rest their bones every now and again tend to end up with broken ones. And take it from me, fighting ain't nearly so much fun when you're nursing a shattered arm. Got that good. There'll always be a free bed for you, so make use of it. Oh wow, really? You have to wait till this point to get the inn rooms? Okay. Not that you'll have much time for lying around. What with all the levies you'll be doing. Oh, didn't I mention I'm putting your name down for leaves? Our guild drives all manner of clients, offering all manner of odd jobs. Honestly, you'd be amazed how much folk will pay to avoid doing an honest day's labor. Just give Tomokri a shout whenever you feel like making a few extra gills. She'll always have some task or other for you to do. And it's all above board, in case you're wondering. We're careful to stay on the Admiral's right side in here, unlike some pirates I can mention. I'll tell you, if it turns out that you ought to do... Turns out they had ought to do with them kidnappings, there'll be 7 hells to pay, a proper bleeding reckoning. Mayhap that's what Limsa needs, though. On rough seas, sometimes you have to rock the boat to right it. But we'll have time for such talk when you're well and rested. Till then, enjoy the wench's hospitality. How do you fare, Hulk? Rested and ready to expand your horizons? Well then, I have an idea where you might try heading next. And you heard of the Skylift out in middle of Nosha? If you've ever visited Woad Whisper Canyon, then you must have been up and down the thing at least once. It's that bleeding scaffolding attached to the descent. You likely seen the lads and lasses out there using it to haul cargo up the cliff. Hard labor, and that. And I hear they could use an enterprising soul to pick up the odd jobs what no other bugger has time to deal with. Track down the head of the operation bloke by the name of Workerit, and he'll be sure to put you to work on a task or two. Man, these names are killing me. That's where I want to go. Couldn't remember if I could jump over that or not. What you got for me? Bateron sent you out here, did he? Then consider yourself welcome at the Skylift. Look at that bloody cliff, will you? One blast of fiery hell from that huge dragon was all it took to split the ground in half. Cargo still needs to get through, though, so this mess of wood and pulleys was our solution to the problem. Well, one of them, at least. If the gods were kind, and they ain't, I'd have about a dozen more workers to handle me growing list of headaches. Glad I am to see you again. A wagon driver just returned in a great bloody hurry, screaming about some monstrosity that what sprang out from a million corn seedling in his cargo. Seems the gutless bastard tossed it over the side afore turning tail and running for his life. I need you to head down the road, recover that seedling, and deliver it to Lyof over at Swift Perch in western Lenosha. Whatever he pays you for the cargo is yours to keep. After all, I don't rightly know what else is lurking inside that plant, and you deserve to be rewarded for your troubles. Oh, and you'll also find an aetheryte in Swift Perch, so the journey should be worth your while. Yeah, there is definitely one in Swift Perch. Careful, I'll just kill myself. Clear out the first one? Oh, we did. Alright. Make sure I attune to the crystal. And we'll finish the quest. Has Naimia herself forsaken this desolate land, though I understood there were risks in gambling my entire fortune on a crop of million corn? I at least expected the seedling to be delivered before disaster struck. Is that my million corn seedling? Oh, joyous day. It may seem a paltry beginning, but the yield of this particular variety of crop plant is nothing short of astonishing. As you have undoubtedly noticed, Swiftperch lacks a certain, shall we say, vital energy. Thus I mean to restore a modicum of hope to its residents by growing a veritable ocean of corn. You, sir, seem fit to burst with vim and vigor. Might I persuade you to bide a while and help nurture this ailing settlement? Sure, why not? I want the chess piece. You there, adventurer, cast your eyes towards the brewer's beacon. Does the light not seem uncommonly weak? It cannot possibly be bright enough to guide the ship sailing in the bay. I would march over to the lighthouse and investigate myself, but I am duty-bound to remain at my post. I would consider it a favor if you could make a visit to Brewer's Beacon and see if aught has befallen. Canswees, the lighthouse keeper. Sure, why not? We'll go to the lighthouse. Where everything starts attacking you. You say a yellow jacket sent you here? Me light's grown dim, has it? Well, of course it bloody has. The bomb, what fuels me furnace, has up and buggered off, you see. If I don't get that beacon fixed up soon, there'll be trouble on the water. I know you're just the messenger lad, but I can tell a venturer when I see one. I'm going to need you to chase down that bomb and bring back a claw, what you ripped from its smoldering corpse. Takes this here iron brazier and set her down in the middle of the flock somewhere near the scarecrow. I'd say you get a nice fire going and that frisky bomb will soon be about. Watch you don't singe your eyebrows. this person's on the same quest that I am. Finish up the main story. Probably do one more main story and then when do I get Tomahawk? Oh, now. I just gotta go do the class quest. I think we'll save that. We'll finish up this mission. We'll probably do one more story mission and yeah, we'll call it. All you need to do is take down that runaway bomb and bring me one of its little claws. Well, we did that. You got that ashy bastard, did you? Once I put this little firecracker in the furnace, that should keep things running for a while. I had myself a bit of a look while you was gone, and Limland cursed me if the furnace weren't all bent and broken. Small wonder the bloody bomb was able to escape. I patched things up as best as I could, but I ain't no Smitty. You might want to have a chat with that yellow jacket friend of yours in Swift Perch and have him pass the word back to someone in Limsa. Will do. furnace is damaged, is it? Very well, I shall write up the relevant reports, but these repairs must needs be effected without delay. It seems I have another favor to ask of you, adventurer. Take yourself straight away to the Armorers Guild in Limsa and explain the situation to Forge Master Hananza. Okay. He's upstairs. Aft Castle. Furnace and Brewer's Beacon needs repairs. Burgot's beard. I just sent someone out to tinker with it not a week past. Mayhap the bomb Consuis had trapped in there was a touch too volatile. I'll have an artisan visit the lighthouse and pay special attention to reinforcing the casing of that furnace. Your work is done here, adventurer. May the navigator guide you on your journeys. What say you to taking on some work from Naldik and Vimeles? We have a great hulking warship to build and could certainly use an extra hand for any number of tasks. For your first job, I need you to run this missive over to Otberm, the head shipwright at Morby Dry Docks. We forge most of the ship's bits and pieces here at the Armorers Guild, but the actual construction takes place at the docks found in the south of Lower Lenosha. That's also where you'll find the main offices of Naldik and Vimeles. The Morby Dry Docks is one of Limsa's most important districts, at least as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure you'll not regret attuning yourself to the area's aetheryte. Yeah, we haven't been out there yet. We need to go get that aetheryte. If you've no confidence in your sense of direction, you'd best be best served making use of a chocobo porter. First floor of the mizzen mast, in case you were wondering. Should you choose to make the trek on your own 2 feet, leave the city through the Tempest Gate and follow the road south. May the navigator guide your steps. We'll take a chocobo. I think it'll actually... Well, 1, it should be faster. 2, I don't think there's anything that we need to do along the way. This way. Take 2 minutes to get there. So let's go. something. We have these guys for our hunt log, but we're all the way at the door, so it doesn't matter. So we can kill 4 of them, and they're killing 3. Let's go finish up this quest. I think we're gonna call it a day after that. You have a missive from me from Forge Master Ananza. I assume it pertains to the pending arrival of materials I ordered over a moon past. Let's see it then. Blast and botheration. Another delay. I am well aware of the shortage of skilled artisans, but this is insufferable. My apologies. The messenger does not deserve to bear the brunt of my frustration. Might I have your name? Well, this proud maiden you see taking shape before you is the Victory, the first new vessel to grace the docks since the Calamity. We may have lost the bulk of our ships that fateful day, but starting with this beauty, we will restore the Maelstrom's fleet to its former glory. The Victory is more than a simple warship. It is the symbol of Limsa's rebirth from the wreckage wrought by the coming of the 7th Umbral Era. Thus, we are striving to complete her construction as swiftly as possible, even going so far as to hire veteran shipwrights from outside the Thalassocracy. Sure, whatever that word is. Yet, even with such unprecedented measures, there are never enough hands to handle the abundance of tasks. Should you choose to linger at the docks for a time, there is no end of odd jobs for a hardworking adventurer. Be you fair warned, there is no place here for layabouts and troublemakers. Alright. Yep, I think we're gonna call it a day there. Oh my god, I can't believe that works. Alright. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching.